Back to Face. I'm Jon Ralston. Doug Hampton, the former Jon Ensign Chief of Staff, is finally speaking out right here on Face about Jon Ensign's behavior, his affair with his wife, and what he is doing right now. I already read to people what Jon Ensign, through his spokesman, has said about you. And here is what you said in that letter to Fox News about the damage that the affair has caused in your life. The actions of Senator Ensign have ruined our lives and careers and left my family in shambles. We have lost significant income, suffered indescribable pain and emotional suffering. We find ourselves today with an overwhelming loss of relationships, career opportunities, and hope for recovery. Our pursuit of justice continues to place me and my family in harm's way as we fear for our well-being. That is very dramatic, sir. We're going to get back to this confrontation and the letter you referred to. But first, tell me what is true. Did you seek money from Jon Ensign?
No, actually, the first money that was presented was from these men that confronted Jon. These men were the ones that said, what we need to do is get Doug Hampton's home paid for, and we need to get Doug Hampton some money, and we need to get his family to Colorado.
That's what they said in front of Jon Ensign during this confrontation?
Absolutely.
And what was Jon Ensign's reaction to that?
Well, at that moment, he didn't quite know. He was really trying to, unbelievably, I guess, take care of the moment where writing the letter was genuine, coming clean and talking to everyone was a real genuine gesture of, you're right, I'm screwing this whole thing up, I've got to stop this. Jon not only felt that way and was so angry that I had brought these men together and confront him, that right after the letter was written and the men, I think Marty and Tim, helped drive Jon down to FedEx and send this thing to Cindy, he called Cindy and said, the letter's coming. Doug's ratted me out. Don't pay attention to the letter. So the money and all of those things came from this group initiating initially what they believed it was going to take care of this.
I'm going to show the letter in a moment. However, you need to be candid here. Did you at any time subsequently go to Jon Ensign or his legal representative through your attorney and say, I need to be made whole here, I need restitution for my family?
Absolutely not.
You did not?
I didn't talk to Jon Ensign personally at all. Our attorneys did talk. Our attorneys absolutely talked because Senator Tom Coburn asked and was involved in these negotiations out of goodwill and good faith.
What were the negotiations for, though, Mr. Hampton?
In the belief from Tom Coburn and many that some restitution needs to take place.
Well, you believe that still, don't you?
Absolutely.
You believe that you need to be made financially whole because Jon Ensign destroyed your ability to make a living. Don't you believe that?
Yeah, there's no question about that. His personal pursuit of Cindy spilled over into, hey, I'm really sorry that you guys have to leave the organization. This isn't working. The creation of the Consulting November Inc., all of those tentacles were birthed because Jon needed things to go down like this. He was still in pursuit of Cindy. He needed me out of the organization, and Cindy ultimately was asked to leave basically by the family.
Well, we will talk later about those circumstances, but at some point there were, and be honest here, sir, there were large amounts of money talked about between the attorneys, correct?
Sure. How
much?
Millions.
That's a lot of money. Most people are going to look and saying, why is it?
This is a grievous act. When you look at the details, when we talk about all of the things that have taken place as a result of Jon's actions and leadership and the decisions that he initiated and things that were covered up to help this happen and to keep this from coming out and to keep this from taking place is really genuinely impacted my family greatly. It's unbelievable.
Do you think he should resign?
Absolutely.
Really? Why?
Because I don't think his decision-making in the last couple of years is that of a United States Senator. Listen, we all make mistakes. We're all people. I'm not in any way, shape, or form standing on a soapbox on that issue. But in this time period, what took place with two employees, how he handled Cindy, how he handled Doug, how he handled the staff, how he handled the NRSC, how he led that story making and all of that cover-up and took place is not the behavior and conduct of a United States Senator in that position.
But I guess playing devil's advocate here, if he had agreed to pay you these millions of dollars, then you'd be okay with him still being a U.S. Senator? None of these issues would exist?
No. I don't know that we had ever even gotten to that place. This was at the request of Tom Coburn and some people to try and help them manage John. This group in C Street, work with John, rehabilitate John, come alongside John. They just thought this was going to be best for both of our lives, believing that
the U.S. Senator here, sir. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Tom Coburn, a U.S. Senator, told John Ensign, listen, you've got to deal with this, make these folks whole, let them get out of your life, and let's move on. Isn't that exactly what happened?
Absolutely.
All right. You've been alluded to this letter that John Ensign wrote your wife that day of the confrontation. When we come back, Mr. Hampton, we're going to show people some of what that letter said, and we're going to talk about what happened after that. Back in a moment with Doug Hampton.